Does XRP hold the last bit of value as a strategic reserve? There are a lot of claims that Bitcoin is the easiest choice, but no one can explain why. They only talk about traits that people are born with, so I'm here to give you that story. In this video, I'll talk about why XRP is a better Bitcoin for strategic reserves. I'll talk about the facts, put an end to the stories, and then give you a crazy idea about how XRP might just win if you want a good twist. Hold on tight. I have been buying and selling cryptocurrency successfully for more than 380 days, making a profit every month. Over $29,000 has been made by people who copy my trades in the last 90 days. Do you want to see my well-known stats? If you want to copy my trades for free right now, click the main link in my personal descriptions. You should not ignore this message. Alright, let's start right away. I think this is just going to be interesting for you. The idea for this movie came from a fight I had with some Bitcoin fans. The question at hand is whether XRP or Bitcoin is a better long-term investment. It was very touching to hear the Bitcoiners explain why they think Bitcoin is a good fit for this use case. They said that Bitcoin was made to be a strategic backup asset, which was their main point. A lot of people want to buy it because it's the easiest coin to use. I stopped when I heard that. Really? Is that what makes Bitcoin different from XRP? If you take it down, I think you'll see that they are totally wrong. Bitcoin was never meant to be a strategic backup asset in the first place. Satoshi Nakamoto's original idea was for Bitcoin to work as a peer-to-peer price network, which would let people trade with each other without a central authority. We should all be aware of how innovative that has become. Bitcoin changed the sport, which was the first step in the digital revolution. It wasn't the greenest or fastest method, but it was a big deal. But here's the thing. A lot of people who support Bitcoin these days say that it is a digital currency that can be used to buy things and keep value. But that's no longer the story of how it came to be. First, Bitcoin went from being a safe to a lively society. There may be more to the debate over which is the more important strategic asset than people think if we look more closely at the differences between Bitcoin and XRP. Bitcoin was never meant to be used as money. Satoshi's white paper was used to clean it. Bitcoin was made so that people could send money to each other instead of going through banks. People with real autonomous money. In modern times, some Bitcoin supporters have changed the story and spread the exciting new idea that Bitcoin can be used to keep value. Jack Dorsey says that Bitcoin will fail as a tool if it is only used to store fees. Let's tell the truth. This new fake gold badge is just a trick to get people to buy things. It goes against Satoshi's vision and insight right away. As banks raise the price, Bitcoin, which was once thought to change the way payments are made, is no longer just sitting in vaults doing nothing. It's interesting that the same people who call XRP a banker's coin are also changing the name of Bitcoin to fit the technology it was made to fight. The idea that Bitcoin could be a strategic backup asset falls apart as soon as you realize that it is not what it was created to be. This is the worst part. When it comes to the basics, Bitcoin and XRP are pretty much the same. However, XRP might be more useful as a reserve asset. Why? Yes, Bitcoin does have a cap on delivery, which is a great way to keep prices from going up too much, but XRP goes one step further. It lowers prices. So if you really want to live out this reserve asset fantasy, XRP might someday be more valuable than Bitcoin. When it comes to cryptocurrency tokenomics, XRP has a few clear benefits over Bitcoin as a possible reserve asset. Let's destroy it. What is the plan right now? You can either put Bitcoin in a strategic store and do nothing with it, or you can use it to get ahead in a market that is always changing so that more people can use it. Its mood doesn't change very often. In the meantime, XRP is going forward with Ripple by working with major banks, governments, and institutions to create real-world uses for the XRP ledger. In this case, XRP is a better backup asset than Bitcoin from a tokenomic point of view. Also, Bitcoin's group quickly loses its ability to handle new users. Now it's not made to be different. For example, the XRP system is getting a lot of attention because it can be used in many ways. One blockchain is not better than the other for strategic savings, but XRP is clearly the best when it comes to new ideas and abilities. Being spread out is the worst part. Lots of people say Bitcoin is more open, but there's strong proof that the XRP ledger is actually more spread out. Still, that's something you should look into because it lets you save things for later. People who are very strict about Bitcoin often criticize Ripple for keeping too much XRP. But here's the catch. They don't understand the imaginary advantages of this. I'll say more about that soon. Finally, let's remember this. It's not likely that the US would have controlled the delivery if Bitcoin had been chosen as a reserve currency. Yes, it has a lot of space for Bitcoin, but it won't stay a Bitcoin whale. Would they be able to stack enough Bitcoin to hit $1 billion even if they did? Let's tell the truth. When they have traps, do they ever get as good as Michael Saylor? How about Satoshi, the mysterious figure with no face? Who can be all of these things? Someone? Very smart? The Chinese government might even be there. Are they really going to let a few unknown people hold the most Bitcoin? The thing they need is an emergency plan? Saying that we have the largest holder but the second largest keeping is like that? Yes, I do not know that person. There is a big risk involved. Specifically, how can the US stand that if Bitcoin turns out to be a necessary backup asset under Trump? He would have to rule to be the biggest whale in the sky. Of course, you can't do that because the biggest buyer is probably your biggest enemy. This is also where the weakness is. If people don't know who Satoshi is, Bitcoin's role as a strategic reserve is in grave danger. Let's take a look. In spite of the fact that they own a lot of XRP, at least we know who Ripple is. We know it's an American business with well-known people involved. Satoshi is in a dark hole. It could be someone else or the CCP. Even though everyone knows who Ripple is, they might want it because they have a better, stronger case. Not all of XRP has been distributed yet, but Ripple still owns a big chunk of it, and this is why. It changes everything. Compared to other members of the community, XRP is the clear choice for the US to keep as a strategic backup asset that they could store huge amounts of. Why? The large size of Ripple's reserve means that a large allocation can be made without having a big effect on the price of XRP. Think about it. Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, has said in public that the company wants to make XRP a virtual reserve currency, since their main goal has always been to help America get its share. Doesn't it make sense for Ripple to make sure that happens? To begin with, how can a global virtual reserve asset be created if the biggest economy in the area doesn't take part? This part is interesting. Has some of Ripple's cash already